We seem to be online.
It's gonna go out in like 2 seconds. Come on now.
Yeah, dude, you gotta hurry up. It's gonna die in
10 hours.
1 millisecond.
Come on, dude. You gotta hurry up. It's gonna die in 24 hours.
It's gonna die in 22 hours.
Oh no.
See?
Yeah, dude, we only have 22 hours. Hurry the fuck up.
Come on, dude. We're doing a charity stream for Newt's little brother's cancer.
Hey guys, Neon Boy here. We're streaming because we can.
Yeah, dude.
Are we doing it normal? We aren't doing the co-op thing.
Nah, we're doing regular.
Why? That's what we do every single time. We do one thing.
No, I don't like the fucking boss shit. I hate
No,
that.
let's do the boss shit.
No,
You
I
do
wanna
anything different
Okay,
than
we'll
usual.
do one. Hold on. I have to do the fucking sunset, and I have to bring thingy to the team. So we'll do 2 regular ones, or until I get 5-star norm. Okay, wait, no. We'll just do 2 regular games, and then we'll do the boss.
Alright.
Okay, I'm down, Patrick. Let's go.
Who the fuck is Patrick? This is the Krusty Krab, okay? I'm not the Patrick.
Did that weird you out?
Shut the fuck up. No, I'm gonna act like a Newt. Shut the fuck up.
I'm tired.
I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Newt, ready up already. Come on now.
No, dude, I'm waiting for Neon.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Okay, that one's hot. That one's hot. That one's hot. That one's
Wait,
not
are we doing
hot.
the boss one?
No, we're doing 2 regulars, and then we'll do the boss.
Okay.
We're just gonna do some regular, and then we can do whatever.
My goodness. It's
God
like
damn, you people don't have manners. Y'all burping everywhere. God damn it. What type of dice should I bring? Should I bring the candy, the heart, the chocolate, the wood, the gold, the orange, the green, or the normal?
Bring the penis.
Okay, I'll bring the heart.
Okay, close enough.
I mean, the penis bone connected to the heart bone.
It's boneless.
It's boneless.
I would just like to talk about how I basically made a Link version of QP right now.
And it's boneless.
Bone got bone, then it's boneless. I forget, did I show you that new? Or did you already know about it?
I don't think you showed me. I don't know about it.
When did you watch that?
I didn't. I just you say it all the time. So
Oh.
I'm like, okay, boneless.
It's from a Source Films Maker fucking video.
Yeah.
I kill you for taking.
How the hell is that supposed to look like Link?
That's
color
part of the
is different.
that's part of the well, that's the closest thing I got, okay? But the outfit, come on.
I mean, she looks like a little elf boy.
I weaken Neon. Kill him.
I can't, I'm over here.
It's fine. I'll just get a 6 and kill him.
You know, last time we were on this board, we were fighting a giant chicken.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. We're fighting the
Oh, no.
chicken. Oh, well, nope, you're gonna die.
No,
Goodbye.
I got a 6. I'm fighting him.
You need to like not.
You.
Oh, then I cry. Wait, the bomb's gonna kill him. No, I'm not gonna get his stars.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have my stars. My stars.
That's how you kill something, dude.
But you're dumb.
Thanks. You just
That's
healed
my
up.
house.
Not anymore, bitch. Use my dash.
My burp.
Okay, no, I just got stuck. My burp is
Oh.
stuck. That's a great thing.
Die.
No.
Stop getting all the defense in the fucking world.
Oh my god. That's sad.
Alexa, play
your
Desposito.
Dude, your Norma wasn't reached.
I know, but when I kill him, I will get normal.
Why did I use this? I used it just so I could pick up another star card. Or me not star card, a card. Yeah. Is that English? I don't know.
Sure.
Neon's gonna die.
And Ian's gonna kill him, so
Dude, how about you come over here?
no, I'll fight this guy.
You know what? Sure, why not?
Oh shit.
Oh, but you're.
Oh, you can evade. No, I would defend. Regardless, I would defend. What if you?
Evade.
He's not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna give him stars anyway.
What if you evade it and you miss?
If I miss, I don't give him any stars.
Okay, then whatever. Evade. Do whatever you want. See, I told you you were gonna die.
I revive next turn though.
Should listen to me.
But here's the good thing. I revive next turn, and I didn't give him any stars. Meaning, I'm just gonna respawn next turn with full health.
What the fuck is that? That fucking sucks.
Well, you revive next turn with that card? That's gay.
No, that's Neon.
Oh. Sorry, my
Now he can come
Oh
after you.
no! Oh no!
Oh,
It's gonna
shit.
blow up!
The bomb! The bomb! The bomb! Fuck, chicken. Yeah, just get a 2 and let that bomb blow up on him. Watch, it's gonna blow up on me. I told you. That's fucking karma.
Just wanted him to fucking get a little pissed because he got in late as hell.
Oh, I got lost child. Shit. My child is lost. No, he
Oh,
can. No, he
Don't
can.
touch me! Don't touch me!
Now he can bring
Touch
revenge.
me! You're pedophile.
Oh god, don't say that. He's streaming.
At this point, almost nothing on stream would surprise any of my viewers. Almost.
I'm gonna heal up. Or you gonna go get a
Oh,
card?
dude, I'm running away, dude. Fuck this guy.
Getting rid of this shit. I'm gonna level up. I just have to go home again.
Country roads.
Take me home to the new
I don't want this.
that belongs. You
Dun-it. Dun 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 dun
You
dun
keep
dun
getting
dun dun.
fucking lucky.
Watch. I'll teleport away. I'll get it too.
Oh my god, I got lucky. Check and get ready.
Fuck. Fuck!
Yeah, I mean you leveled up and got health.
I get
But now I have even higher. I was just gonna chase you around the board until I finally passed you, but now I actually have an incentive for fighting you.
Don't die, Neon.
Yeah.
I own it.
You have the ligma though. I would defend. Okay, I wanted to.
And now he's at risk of dying.
He's still got more health than you do.
I'll get another one and I'll teleport away and hopefully the CPU or bomb won't fuck me. Fuck. Dude, that's the second time. That's the second time 9 rounds in. What the
Fuck, I don't know.
fuck?
Do, 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 do,
Fuck it,
do.
I don't need my hyper. At least not right now. Oh, well. Kill him. Kill him, he tried to kill you. Or he did kill you.
Usually I don't do this, but...
You brought it on yourself, boy.
I don't know, there's...
Sit here for hours until you lose the game.
Hey, you fucking killed him first, you fucking...
It wasn't even for the stars. I don't care about the stars. At this point, it's just for the comedic value.
Wins.
You shouldn't have provoked him.
An angry QP is a QP you don't want to mess with.
Oh fuck, I didn't instant revive, I wanted to kill him.
Oh, nice. I like how this entire time is just gonna be you two fighting.
Oh, trust me, I'm getting the hell out of here.
I'm gonna stay here for a while, I like to drop panel. Dude, Max is gonna be like level 4 by the time I revive, what the fuck?
Maybe you shouldn't have attacked somebody. What the hell did that do?
That's bad.
It is not good.
That's... what the fuck is with all the tracks?
Dude, it's a keyboard. That's why there's so many tracks.
Ah.
He's gonna die of a chicken.
Hiya!
Told you. Here we go. Chicken gonna kill him. Oh my god, chicken gonna kill him!
Can I just, like, sit here? You know what? Nobody's gonna know if I just do this. If I just...
Come on, Newt didn't sit here the whole time.
You see, nobody knows. Nobody knows if I won or lost.
Now the CPU is gonna fucking kill the chick.
Nobody knows.
There's no more bombs over here, I'm safe.
Okay, I might have died.
Why did I go home? I'm retarded.
But at least you didn't kill me. It doesn't matter if you didn't kill me.
Ow. No, I'm retarded. I hit myself.
Well, you don't know what that speaks.
Ouch.
Get up.
Okay. I'm surprised that worked. Why isn't it that easy for me in the morning? You have to bribe me with, like, coffee or something.
Well, coffee tastes like shit. How do you get bribed with that?
Well, you
Oh my
see,
God,
I had to drink an entire pot this morning of extremely, extremely strong
no,
coffee.
fuck.
Hey, I got full health again. Oh, I dropped.
Wait, you lost a lot of stars. What the fuck?
I'm sorry, stock? Great.
I think I lost a lot of stars because of my fucking flip out card. I think I dropped
Oh
like...
my fucking god, dude. That's 3 times.
Maybe don't land on it.
Maybe shut the...
Maybe Uwu.
No, that's the name of our game. Don't die, Neon. There's a bomb behind you.
I'm perfectly aware of that.
I would stop at home. Now the bomb blows up on you. Oh my god, there's enough trap cards as is, you... Oh, you fucking... Oh,
Oh my god, we somehow escaped.
He's a Houdini. Now Newt's gonna blow up. Oh my god, come on. What's with all these drop fucking things? Dude, the chances of me landing on a fucking trap card
Hello.
is like really high.
Aww.
Oh my god, there's so many traps right there.
Why? There's more traps than
I
an
need a
insert funny
1
joke
before
here.
shit. Need a 1 of 4 or 6. God damn it. Okay, it was just 1 damage. Okay, good start. That's okay. You ready for an air raid?
Yeah. Fudge you.
Oh my god. Why do you have -2 attack?
Because that's one of the effects of that card.
Oh. Maybe don't land on it.
Oh, really?
I just don't want to land on a 1 or a 3. For fuck's sake. Okay, that's acceptable.
I am privileged, guys.
Oh my god, this whitey has privilege. Oh, I can't go home, there's a bomb! Fuck! Where do I go? Please explode bomb, please!
Oh my god,
Hello.
the teleport space saved you so hard.
Bomb Jesus, please explode right now. Please explode right now. No, not that one, the other one. Why?
He listened to you.
Damn
You'd
you.
be happy. Oh my
Shut up.
fuck!
That's what you get for what you said.
The game actually hates me every single
well,
fucking
I-
time.
Yes, if I'm gonna go down, I might as well fucking go down with the ship.
Oh, Max is fucked.
Nope.
Oh, Max is actually alive. What the fuck?
Okay, Neon, run as far as you can.
That's not very far.
That's very. Oh my god, she's standing right on top of the bomb.
He's gonna die to the rock.
The rock softened. Oh, the bomb's gonna go off, isn't it?
Oh my god, dude.
Dude, I was about to kill. I was about to kill the CPU, but now I can't kill it, and the bomb's gonna go off on me. What is this shit? I will laugh at the fucking CPU gets up and the bomb goes off right away. Yes. Okay, Neon, get up.
Give me some
Okay,
coffee.
Get up. No, and now let the bomb explode. Oh, I wanted the bomb to explode so badly. I'm gonna laugh.
Explode? What?
Yeah, explode.
Wait,
Alright, I'm gonna go to the...
seven?
After my turn here, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that CPU's kind of scary.
The CPU is fucked up.
Alright,
It has 7 out of 6 health. It has more than max health. What the fuck? Oh,
Why
I'm
you go
going
fight
here.
the boss? Why you go
I'm-
fight the boss?
Dude, I have 2 health. Fuck off. Why didn't you go to the double bomb, dude? Max, why didn't you go to the double bomb?
I can't use a firework. God damn it. It's sad.
Neon, you take years to do anything.
There he goes. Oh, there goes the fucking firework. Well,
Someone lag out. Max, did you lag out?
Max left? Max
What?
left. What?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it says... it
It's-
says Max left, though.
Not on
It
my-
said someone left, CPU coming in. Hey, Kirby, good to see you in chat.
Max, you're literally CPU-D. And you died to the boss.
Did I? I'm
Yeah,
sorry
the CPU.
connecting, that's bullshit. That shouldn't happen.
The CPU made you die.
Okay, let me back in. Whoever's in charge of this.
I'm...
Who's in charge of this?
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't think I'm in charge. but I don't
Join
know.
the game, you can enter at the start of the next chapter. If I died to the boss, I swear to God. I died to the fucking boss. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm mad. If I lose,
What?
that's bullshit. I shouldn't lose. I should not lose. Because I had fucking enough to level up. It's bullshit. I'm back in. Are you kidding me? At least let me get up! I didn't even fucking die. That's not funny.
Wait, and now I'm in the lead? What?
Dude, if you win, you know that you didn't deserve that.
Hell yeah, I did. I landed on the drop space like 5
No,
times.
you fucking didn't. I died to something that I didn't even You don't deserve to win this.
I do.
No, you
I
You-
do, though.
fucking do shit. I died to a fucking boss, and I wasn't even here, and I don't even understand
I'm dead.
what the fuck. Why is it a sand cast?
Neon is fucking dead, dude.
Fine.
Damn it.
Ooh, I kinda wanna kill the boss now.
Bitch, I'm killing the boss. I'm killing the CPU over there, and that's what I'm doing.
Oh, fuck the boss.
Why didn't you fight the boss, huh? Little bitch. Oh, I wonder where my 120 stars I had to where I could level up to level 5 went. Fucking horse shit. Fucking bull. Fight the boss. Coward.
Gotta bless.
Fight the boss.
Jesus.
Give me one. That's
Nope.
not one.
Oh, now I can go kill you. Come here.
I don't like it over here.
Whatever. I don't care. Come here, Noob.
Oh, dude, I'm out.
I'm gonna fucking chase you around the board until I kill you.
Nah, dude, I'm out. Oh no. Oh,
Oh.
see, use nice thing.
Oh, you're gonna steal the fucking kill, you son of a bitch! I'm gonna kill you. What are you
Wait,
gonna
let
do?
me
Are you gonna run away?
Let me just heal up.
You fucking bitch! If you win, it's bullshit. You don't deserve this win. You don't deserve this.
Fuck.
Good. Good. Fucking God. I don't give a shit. I'm coming
Wait,
over to
I
there, bitch.
I get to kill the CPU though, so it's worth it. And I get stars afterwards.
This is fucking bullshit.
Oh my god.
Oh, what was it
Okay,
that you were saying?
I'm killing the boss.
Oh,
I'm safe. You're slowly but surely making your way over to me.
Did my internet go out again? Because I'm
No.
just standing here. I'm just standing here. Did I disconnect again?
Not here.
Oh, you landed on drop space.
No, I landed on the fight you space.
No.
I'm gonna beat the fuck out of my internet. Okay, I'm gonna show you what's on my end.
I just leveled up by the way and killed the CPU.
Nope. I'm gonna show you what's on my end. This is on my end. This is on my end right here. This is on my end. This is on my end. If I lose this, it's bullshit.
Meg,
This is
your
on my
turn to
end.
move. You need to move.
Bitch,
Meg.
I am at a fucking I'm fighting you!
No, you're
Yes, I am! Look at the fucking picture I sent you!
literally not.
Look at this shit I just sent you!
I'm like behind you, dude.
Bitch, look at this shit I just sent you!
No.
I'm fighting you right now! That's what the fuck's happening! Look at my fucking picture I sent you!
Why isn't it disconnecting you? I don't
I
get it.
don't know!
What the fuck is going on?
Bitch, I'm fighting you. We're just staring at one another.
Yeah, same, cause it's your time to fucking move.
No, bitch, look at the picture I sent you.
Yeah, this is a legal Mario Party. A legal Mario Party where everyone just stands around and does nothing.
Neon, show the stream the picture.
Sure thing. If I just boop this, then
Show
I
the stream my end.
doop, doop,
Wait, why do you have -1 attack? What the fuck?
and wait, why is it doing that? No, that's not the right link. Don't do that. It's come on. Boop. This is what he sees. So, we're kind of just at a standstill right now.
Why doesn't he disconnect? I don't get it.
Yeah, like, usually, it disconnects these kinds of things.
Wait, can I kick him? No, what?
I don't think you can
Why
kick
can't
during
I?
a game.
This is what's going on.
This is
my
dumb.
life.
Hold on, try turning your internet off and back on. Maybe it's still, like, just slightly connected enough somehow, some way.
I would just want to fucking restart because that's bullshit. Because I was gonna kill Newt.
And it looks like you're about
And
to.
they wouldn't let me.
You got a 1 on everyone else's screen, though.
I sent you the fucking picture on my end. It wouldn't let me. I don't know what the fuck happened on your end. Why it let me do or what it didn't let me do. I restarted my internet and it's still telling me that I'm in a fight with Newt.
Well, I'm just kind of confused. That's
How about we restart and just let Neon fucking
yeah. A slightly less amount of problems happened when what?
I'm
Oh
not gonna
wait,
let you do
wait!
Next move.
You
No,
moved.
I left. I left.
You turn into CPU. Okay, good.
Yeah, I left. Can we just restart with Neon as the fucking host?
Yeah, let's do that.
Enemy battle.
I just got bullshitted really badly. Sheepy Bow Pitty. Monster Mesh. Not Victor. Kara. Orange Grinding. Cat Duck. Dungeon. Juice for the Juice God. Pogga. OG for... Do you see that room, Newt?
No.
You don't see that room?
No.
The OG for... and then the N-word?
What?
In the fucking rooms of the fucking online.
I'm happy I don't see that room.
What's the password?
It's check Discord.
So check Discord. Okay, is that capital?
Yes.
It's check Discord. It says connecting the lobby, please wait. Oh, it says it's not right. Dude, I don't know what, just check Discord. It didn't do it.
Jeez.
Come on, Newt, get in there.
Nah, dude.
Oh yeah, this
Dude,
is happening.
we gotta play on Sunset. I'll let you do whatever you want for field eventually. We gotta do Sunset or practice field. Whatever one you want to do.
Why aren't... Oh my god. Max is gay.
Don't do home roulette. I hate home roulette. That's
Yeah, I have like random minus home roulette. I hate home roulette so much.
And then we'll do 2 more rounds of this.
Wait, I do have that disabled, right? I have air raid, backtrack, home roulette, confusion, random warp, and just none disabled.
I just hope nothing happens again.
Alright, let's do it.
Max, ready up.
I did ready up. I don't know why it unreadied me. Oh, it's probably because he was changing shit. Wouldn't be surprised if that's why. Gotta bring all my seagulls. I'll bring my Oh yeah. The PP bone connected to the homo bone. Oh, I like this. This is exactly what we had on the last time. Oh god, you put it on 4. So fucking fast.
Oh my god.
You know, people actually complain when I don't have it on 4.
I don't like it on 4, I like it on 3. Because it's fast, but it's not like, you know, about to, you know, go in the next world fast. Okay, am I fighting somebody on your screen? I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Okay.
If they would, okay.
You're gonna go fight him, Newt? Nope, the rock is. You killed the rock. He scared off Newt with that rock killing. He went that way. Bitch, come back here. Oh, fuck me. Oh no, I can't believe you've done this.
No way! I can't believe this!
Max, are you okay?
No, I'm dying inside.
I'm already dead inside, so it doesn't matter.
I wish I could, like, think of my moves out, but, like, it's too fast. I can't think.
I'm just crawl slowly towards the whole thing.
Is
It's
that
fine.
event
Oh
end?
my god, fuck me.
Come here, Newt.
Well, I haven't done anything.
That's for you.
Oh, nice. I'll just avoid it.
No. Dude, that was a piggy bank. You don't want a piggy bank?
The home roulette just happened.
Wait, what? Why'd home roulette happen? No, I disabled that. I'm calling shenanigans.
Start again. Oh. We're restarting again?
I'm not doing home roulette.
Okay, let's restart again, I guess.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, we could do Mario Kart while we wait. Okay, I'm gonna read some more lobby names. There's a lobby called Knit.
There's one called Dogs Are Fluffy.
There's one that's called...
Okay, but like, who's just shouting out facts? Home roulette
Who's
disabled.
extra fries?
I saw that! Big chicken with extra fries.
I like how there's just one called a KFC.
Wait, there is?
Yeah.
I like how there's one just called Knit. 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 Knit.
There's one called fucking Vlog.
Okay, now open.
Alright, third time's a charm.
Now don't put on home roulette.
I didn't! Like, you can look on the stream. Home roulette disabled.
Knit. 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 No.
Dude, if we get home roulette again, Neon is never hosting.
If we get home roulette again, I'm tossing this out a window.
If you get home roulette again, I'm going to bed.
No! Don't get home roulette again, I'm sad. Okay, boys, ready up. We're playing with Sugary this time. 2 sugars.
We're playing with Max this
We got home roulette. I checked the field event.
No, we didn't.
Haha, made you look.
I was already checking.
Oh, damn.
I'm like, Max, is your internet broken again?
I made you look.
I was looking already.
I got your blue.
Your look.
I got your blue. Green. Fireworks. Fuck it. Ah, I got fucking lost child. Why? Why do I get this type of fucking shit, Mom? Stop pooping.
Why do I get an anime bitch and the card name is Stiff Crystal? Fuck.
She makes
I don't like what it's insinuating.
Oh, I forgot that I was going backwards. My bad. Hello. You wanna fight? Okay, bitch. Here we go. I'm the better Sugary. Evade it, bitch. You won't. Haha. I just want to note that she wanted to fight me.
I just want to make a note, and my crystal is stiff.
Cool!
Anime
Good to
bitch.
know.
Yeah, I don't want to drop. Fight him. Or teleport. Either you fight him or you teleport. What do you want to do?
Nah.
Now you left them all alone. I'll come over there and I'll kill him.
Yeah, it's all yours. All yours.
I'm here, dude.
I'll show you my stiff crystal.
I don't think anyone wants to see your stiff crystal.
I don't want to go to jail, okay? Don't worry, I'm already seeing a stiff chicken.
It's fine, it's legal in my country.
It's illegal since birth in my country.
Alright, good night, everybody!
Brandon. Good night, everybody. Come back for the next comedian. Oh shit, he be roaming around at the speed of sound. He has places to go. He has to follow his rainbow.
You're a rainbow.
So wait, does that mean the singer of that song is like gay? Oh no, food for thought.
But there's no food.
There is here.
Max, don't touch me. It makes me feel weird.
He touched me in my no-no spot. No? Too much? Okay.
That's too much voice acting.
I'm a voice actor, so screw you.
Dude, I'm a voice actor too. I just go. Ah! If they ever need death screams, they hire me. So I go. Ah! They need a zombie. I go. Ah! Me and TNT just to make them.
Welcome to the stream, everybody, where we all make a bunch of noises.
Who brought the lawnmower?
That fucked up my voice.
Who brought the lawnmower? Oh, damn.
I allow my mom while playing video games at 3 AM, okay?
How about you land on that trap card, dude?
You just activated my trap card!
Sorry, I'm not into traps, dude. Sorry.
Andy. Who's that?
Who did?
New phone? Who that?
I was about to say that.
New phone? Who this?
It's me, Roostity69.
Oh, damn.
Hey!
What did Neon get here?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hey, look, it's not Neon.
Okay, there you go.
Like, I don't like traps,
Aw.
okay? Traps are gay.
I mean, yes, it is neon.
Time to die.
Okay, actually, that's actually kind of
Time
accurate.
to die. Nope, I'm alive.
I've been
No, I'm dead.
practicing.
No, you.
Nope.
Oh shit.
I'm actually a little spooked now.
I win.
I'm a little spooked.
You thought I was gonna die. Haha! Bitch. Yeah, we should join.
Hi, my name is Neon. How are you?
Neon, join.
Okay, now that one. That one sounded more like Max than me.
Oh, fuck.
Max
you,
sounds
man.
like
Marlo.
Max.
Oh shit, it's Neon, I gotta kill him. Sorry. Oh no, I'm back here.
No, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Oh fuck.
Can we all calm down for 5 seconds?
We all traded spots.
In the words of one of my favorite almost anime characters of all time, I can't take it anymore! Can we just calm down for like 3 seconds before something crazy happens?
Yeah, like Vamp joining. Come on, Vamp, join.
Yeah, Steam is still downloading.
What kind of internet are you working with?
It's being gay.
Dude,
Well, you can't say
It's
that's what I
okay to be gay, however that song goes. I haven't heard it in a year or two.
Oh no. Oh,
Waiting for you. Waiting
my
for you.
internet's been running slow. It's been hard to get around
I'll
with
show
it.
you my stiff Chris.
Yeah, my mom's internet. It's not great.
Vamp, I'll show you his step.
You need to complain a lot more about my mother's internet if you want to be me.
The last word I
I'm
said was dick,
one
and that's
fucking
not
star
where I
off.
thought you were going.
You also need to be offended anytime anyone says the word chair.
You said what?
I said your chair squeaks annoyingly. Get a new chair.
Said, no, you.
Don't die.
Gotcha. Didn't die.
Now you listen here, you squeaky chair.
Get fucked, bitch. I'm killing you away.
I'm gonna kill you next round. I'm gonna kill you next time. Come here, bitch.
No, watch, watch,
Nah.
watch.
You don't understand.
I do
No,
understand.
you don't understand.
No, you don't understand.
No, you don't understand.
No,
understand.
you. Oh shit!
No, you don't understand.
I don't think I understand.
Oh, you right.
Fuck. Oh, thank God he didn't go for the teleport.
I have a plan that I'm gonna do. Even though, wait a minute. Okay,
You could have landed on it.
No, you don't understand.
Yeah, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking kill you if you land on my fucking home space when I fucking place this trap card. I will fucking go after you and I will kill you. Okay. Don't fucking land on it, Neon. I will fucking kill you. I will fucking
I think you're
kill
gonna kill me whether I do this or not.
you. No, I'm not. Don't fucking land on that, please.
I think you still are.
No, just don't fucking land on it. Just get this, anything but a 2. Anything but a 2. I swear to God, I'll fuck. Okay, good. It's piggy bank. It's my piggy bank.
It's not like I would have gotten anything.
It's mine.
So you just got like,
fucking killed you. Now I'm gonna kill you anyway.
yep, I knew.
Nah, dude.
Nah, I'm gonna try to get over to where New is. I'm gonna fucking.
Hey, good
Can I
to
get
see
a
you in
watch?
chat. We're basically all going to kill each other, except me. I'm gonna run like a scared little female dog, because technically that's what my character is.
What the fuck? Why is Dexy here? Oh,
Because-
God.
I'm a brilliant internet personality.
Yeah,
Actually, no,
Dexy,
I gotta
you
use
gotta
extreme
fucking-
gamer
you gotta
voice.
fucking-
But I don't know.
I don't have a card. I'll take a card. Okay.
See,
This
he's
is
gonna.
okay.
He's.
I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. Yeah, I'm fine with this.
Oh no, I don't want that card.
I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this.
Oh no. Why?
For once, it wasn't me.
Why?
It's usually always me. Oh, it's great when it's not me. You just made my
I
day.
haven't even done anything.
Because you ran away like a little bitch.
I didn't even do anything.
I didn't even do anything.
Where's he going?
I'm going back home to heal.
Oh shit. You right. You right.
I'm gonna go here.
Okay. Don't hit neon. Okay, good.
I went back home to heal.
Oh, shit. Do I do it? Do I do it? Or do I not do it?
I would
Dude,
bank on
he's
not doing
fucking
it.
Slow.
I'm doing it, I'm sorry.
Dude, he's slow.
If I don't kill you, I won't kill you again. Okay.
You've just angered
I
me.
had to. Okay.
I don't sound angry, but you've angered me.
Okay, I'll take that. I wanna win, okay? I just wanna fucking win. Plus, Newt was peer pressuring me, okay? Blame Newt. He was telling me
Okay,
to do it.
I'm trying to
Do
set
it.
you up here. I'm trying to set you up here.
Fuck you.
Kill him! Kill him!
Please, man, we can talk about this. Please, man, we can talk about this. Please.
Now you just gotta get the. Oh my god.
No!
You picked the wrong decision now, boy.
Did I? I think I only gained, you know.
Get the fuck away from me. You fucking psychopath.
Well, usually I'm a pacifist, but this time I'm angry. I don't look angry, but I am.
Hey, I escaped.
While you do this, I'm gonna go pee.
I escaped with a kill. I win.
Hi, guys.
God. While he's gone, we can shit talk Dexy dude who's in the chat. Let's go.
But Dexy isn't the one who's gone though. The fuck is the CPU doing?
Oh no, they warped apparently. I don't. Oh, why do they have to warp next to me? For fuck's sake. Shit, now we have to wait.
Oh my god.
You come around here often?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I just felt like trying something different.
Can Neon get a 3 and then I warp away to the other panel?
Sure.
Okay. Shit. Well, shit. I mean, at least I'm healing up. I was healing up.
Yeah, he's
And
healing up.
still
Yeah.
healing up. They're gonna invade it. Yep. Fuck was the point of that? Oh fuck, here comes Neon. he's gonna exact his
Oh,
revenge.
shit. I'm
He's
coming
gonna
forward.
exact his revenge.
Yeah. Can I not have such crap rolls?
You made a bad decision.
Dude, you fucking suck.
You made a bad decision. Okay. I'm gonna place this. Give me a 3. Fuck. Why is everybody
It's fine,
coming
Max,
after me?
I'm also up.
Everybody's coming after me. Every single fucking person. See, I told you. Every single fucking person. Bitch. It's flat. Die this eagle. Oh, killed this eagle. There goes me. Oh, I thought you were gonna go after me too.
Nah, dude.
I have too many problems. Well,
I felt like actually killing something.
Neon's gonna be mad at me again. Okay, you're not gonna be mad at me.
I'm still mad. You...
Well, you can be mad at somebody else now. Newt, let's go fuck up the CPU.
I'm still mad at you.
What, you died to the CPU?
You still killed me! And you didn't need to!
So did the CPU.
Wait, I'm trapping
The CPU is just a program.
CPU?
Shut the fuck up.
Wait, I put a trap by the CPU. If
The
gets
CPU doesn't know my personality. You do. You know who I am. You know this would tear me up inside. You knew that this would hurt. And you did it anyway. Or maybe I just want to be pretend mad.
Do I go up to go to home, or how do I get to that home?
Just click on it.
Oh,
You'll navigate there automatically if you click on the just your home.
if you click on the space, it goes there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how many moves I needed. Okay, Newt, remember, you're going after the CPU. What the fuck? Oh.
Oh, yeah, I'm going after the CPU.
Yeah, go
alright?
after the CPU.
Yeah,
After the CPU.
Fuck him up.
but it might be for a very different reason.
Dude, remember, you gotta do it because they killed Neon.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I can't fight him? What?
Yes, you can. Stop at home. There you go.
Oh,
Get him.
okay.
Get that bit. Oh, what the fuck? Oh no.
Well, I tried. Evade!
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no.
Watch the CPU kill me too and then win.
Pick it up. Oh my god. Newt, you gotta get that CPU. Get him. Kill him.
Fuck you, bitch.
Haha.
Fuck.
Now we have to go after Newt.
I'm good, my home is right there.
Neon, stop being dead.
But I wanted to be
Oh
dead.
no, oh no, oh no. I don't like this.
Get a 1.
I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. If I get a 3 now, I'm fucked.
Remember, I wasn't the one who killed you last time.
You did kill me before, though.
I mean,
It was a mo-
Newt has 200 stars, and he wants me and you to fight. This is exactly what Newt wants. We should go after Newt.
Kill him, kill him,
See, he's even saying it. He wants you to kill me.
kill him, dude, kill him.
But someone who burps so gracefully.
Kill him, dude.
I mean, if you fucking fight me, there's a chance that I'll kill you. So,
Can we have a poll?
how about you just fucking not?
I don't actually want to, I just want to be an ass about it.
You were level 2? What the fuck?
Because everyone keeps killing me!
Don't worry, I'll kill the boss.
I haven't touched you this game.
I still keep dying.
Oh, I fucking died again. God damn it.
No, I'm good. I'm fucking good. Unless they land in a teleport, I'm fucking good. I'm
Nope,
good.
you
Last fight. We'll see if you kill me.
Firework. How about you evade it?
Oh, my god, he actually killed me!
Hey!
Holy shit!
What the fuck? Yo,
Bitch,
Max, you gonna
we
kill
back in this!
Max,
Now if you were to kill me, I wouldn't be mad at you. You have a good reason.
Max, kill me.
Nah, dude, this is the story. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna protect you. I'm gonna go after Newt. Unless I land on you. Which I landed on you. Don't worry.
CPU.
I'll at least soften up everything. Oh,
CPU's gonna kill you.
see?
Nice.
Go home, Neon. Run, run, Neon, run.
Kill the CPU. No, he got fucking sprint, dude. This is gay. Oh, he got 3.
Kill them, the CPU. Do it. Let's go, Neon.
Damn it.
Fuck. Now the CPU's gonna kill you, and we have to go after the CPU again. Oh fuck.
Wait, the CPU's actually close to leveling up too, dude. You have to kill the CPU.
No fuck, I didn't even see it.
I thought you noticed that.
Oh shit. Come on, Neon. Get him. Get him, Neon. Get him. Sick him. Sick him. Get him. Get him.
I don't like doing this, but
Got him.
it's for a good purpose.
You got him. You got him.
Bam.
You got him.
No, now he gets to win though.
Come up. Come here, dude. I'll fuck you up.
Not if you can't. Not if you catch up to me. I could have a bunch of crap
There's no
rolls.
way in fucking hell
I'm
you
not
catch up to
letting you get the Neon. I'm gonna kill you.
If you get a 6, you can land on me.
Unless I land on Neon myself.
Well,
Come
before
here.
me,
Like,
but
Got
still.
6, I can't land on you, you lie.
Oh, I was more looking at Max when I said that, but... Ah, for God's sakes!
That's the best thing for Neon.
No, it's not! Because now I can't... My home is number 2.
You wanna go home?
Country
Get
roads!
stars. I'm getting stars.
I told you that's the best thing for you, Neon.
He still needs
You
to
didn't
go
listen to me.
I still need one more, though.
Alright, Neon, I'll come over to help you.
You're just gonna try and kill me, which is completely understandable.
Yes. Probably, I don't know. You gonna fight me?
You see, if I fight you, I teleport back.
Yeah, but then you can go home. Fight me. Do it. Unless I kill you.
Damn it! You would have killed me anyway, but still. Someone
Oh, yeah,
stop this
so-
awful, awful man.
Oh yeah, I can win. Dude, this is... You gonna warp? You gonna warp, bitch? Or you gonna go fucking... Oh,
Of course
shit.
I am. Of course I am.
What about the CPU? What if the CPU gets 200?
Wait, Max is just gonna level up. Fuck.
No. See you, Newt. Good night. Goodbye. See you later. I ain't coming back. Oh fuck! Now Newt can win. Oh no!
How you doing? Don't die to the boss.
Who's he giving it to?
Hey, Max,
I feel like he's giving it to
the
both
box.
of us. I feel like he's giving it to both of us.
Hey,
I could if I
Max,
would.
don't die to the boss.
Wow.
Teleport, teleport.
Dude, if I die to the boss, you can't get it. Oh my god.
Oh my god, he might win.
Oh, hello. I'm back over here.
Oh, Max is gone. Fuck.
Well, he's dead to the boss.
Damn it. Oh, I wanted to kill the CPU, but I can't. I win. I don't.
Well.
Oh my fucking god! I got a 1. This is bullshit. I don't win.
I don't want to teleport away again. If I want to stand any chance.
You somehow. Oh
Yes!
my god. Dude, the CPU's gonna win.
I don't give a shit. Fuck you.
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win.
Oh!
Fuck my ass. 5? Yes.
Oh,
Fuck.
oh, fucking bullshit. That was a good round.
I had exactly 200 as well.
I enjoyed that. That was good.
Hey, do you two want to just keep playing? I'm gonna be working on something, but I'll be back afterwards. So do you want to just keep playing, like on stream?
Yeah, let's play some Mario Kart 8 on.
Yeah, Max, start stream. We're good.
And then I'll just start hosting you. Or do you want to just continue playing Orange Juice here?
I really don't care. I don't want to stream, but I mean, I don't want to play Orange Juice if you're not gonna play Orange Juice. I don't know.
Well, I'll be back later.
I'm gonna take a piss.
Okay, then take a piss.
If you don't want to, then I can just stop stream here early.
I mean, I kind of want to play Mario Kart with Nude if you're gonna be, you know, doing whatever the fuck you're doing, and I don't feel like streaming.
No, alright, I'll just stop the stream here. Early end to the stream, guys. But if you enjoyed, do whatever the heck you do when you enjoy streams.
Fuck it, you know what? I'm gonna stream.
Okay, I'll host you. We're going next to Max's stream, because we can. So, hold on. Isn't that called like a raid or something like that? Isn't there a command for that?
I haven't started up my stream. You can only do that, I think, the stream's open.
But yeah, stick around if you want to raid Max in a sec. In the meantime, anyone in chat who wants to talk, go for it, because I'm sitting here until that happens.
Damn it, Neon, I told you to stop eating your armchair.
What?
Eat your armchair. That's what's wrong. Stop eating your chair. It's already squeaky as is. If you ate all the pedal. What happened to Vamp? I thought Vamp was here. What the fuck happened to him?
He left a while ago.
He's downloading Steam. I forgot.
I'm going to continue to eat my chair.
Wait, I come back and I hear he's gonna eat his chair? What?
You've missed a lot, man.
Dude, I just want to take a piss. What the fuck do you mean I missed a lot?
I mean, it doesn't matter if I really damage this chair. I'm gonna build a new one in about 5 minutes.
What?
What the fuck is my draw controller?
Regret, that's what's going on. Now there's just,
It's okay.
there's now a bite mark in my goddamn chair. What the hell? What am I doing? Also, I love the auto captions. I had some people from school tell me once that the auto captions are perfect and they work just fine on like anything. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? Because right now it just said something about cheeses or something like that. A soul of offense is if I had some people from school time in one city by captions. What does that even mean?
What do you even mean?
I'm just reading off the captions.
Nice.
Of his reign of the captions. What the heck? I don't even understand anything anymore. Who dares text me? The Adams Division were. Let's see how many times I can say it until it just... air strikes me. See how many times I say it and, like, it changes every time. That's... The vision of the sign of times in St. Joseph's Fee and the air strikes. Jesus. Then give an end to the... is.
Wait, why are you screen sharing?
Because this is what the stream is. I send it off on Discord too, so that you can see exactly what I'm streaming at any given time.
Okay.
Does that hurt anyone's eyes when I do that?
My eyes always hurt because they have to look at this fucked up world. My eyes hurt.
It's weird viewing the actual stream because I'm looking at the stream myself, and I'm just like, what am I doing? I look like an idiot. I'm looking at the stream myself. Oh, ew! Now I hear my own voice. Ew. What am I doing? I look like an idiot. Oh, ew! Now I hear my own voice. Ew. Ew. Don't like it. Ew. Don't like it. Why does anyone like my voice? I hate it.
It's because you're boneless.
Why does anyone like my voice? I hate it.
Because you're boneless.
Why does anyone like my voice? And now there's a weird echo effect. That's great. And now there's a weird echo effect. That's great. Wait, let's see if I can create something on stream. Echo! Wait, let's see if I can create something on stream. Echo! Echo! Wait, let's see if I can create something on stream. Echo! Echo! Echo!
Is it working?
Echo! 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 Echo!
Do I just leave now? It's weird. Like,
Echo!
leave
Echo!
now. How do I react to this?
I don't even know.
How do I react to this?
You should be looking at the stream because that was beautiful. It was just like a reverse echo. You should be looking at the stream because that was beautiful.
What's a reverse echo?
It was just like a reverse echo.
What's that word?
Basically, it's kind of like you went echo, 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 but instead it echoed in instead of out.
What?
Okay, so you know how echo is kind of like echo, 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 like that.
Yeah.
Well, this one was going
Wait, so it
echo,
gets louder and
echo,
louder
echo,
or
echo. It was yeah, it was louder.
Yeah, okay.
It was doing that, and it was hilarious.
So do I just block you now, or like, cause you're weird, don't ever want to talk to you ever again?
I mean, that's not an uncommon reaction. A lot of people do that with me. So.
Okay. So that means it's okay to do it, right?
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay.
Okay.
I bet, were you expecting that reaction? Oh, I got blocked. So I was going to host Max, but he's not here. So, I guess, if you like a stream, do whatever you do when you like streams. Did we just have a Neon Boy proven wrong live on stream?
Hello?
Hi.
Nuke Stoller?
No, he blocked me.
What?
You've missed stuff.
What? How the fuck am I supposed to stream now? What happened?
Yeah, if you wanna stream, I can host you.
I can't stream if Newt isn't here. What happened?
I'm gonna tell him that. Hold on.
What the fuck happened? Excuse me?
Leon said it was okay.
What the fuck happened?
He blocked me.
Why?
I didn't block him, that was a joke. But he said it was okay to leave.
Well, no, it's not okay.
But it is, though. He
We're
said
gonna
it.
play Mario Kart.
So, are you about to host?
Yeah, I'm gonna stream because Newt's here now. If it'll let me. Just waiting on OBS.
I'll leave now just so that you can't stream.
No,
Just to be a dickhead.
no. No, you fucking dumb shit. Now what the fuck is my Hapaj doing? Oh, there we go. Okay. 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 Live.
You live?
My title is New Stream. Pay $4.99 for us. Just pay $4.99 for a sub, unless you want to get the which is, what did I mean that? You can just pay it. Honey. Okay, new getting Mario Kart.
Wait, I have to get out. Hard.
Did you start streaming?
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Cool.
going to Discord.
Alright, well, I'll see you guys later. Enjoy Max's stream.